Hello, Robin, and welcome to GRA 220, belatedly. This will be some video feedback for you on your print ads. And I wanted to say, we've got 4 weeks left. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need help, encouragement, anything of that nature. And I bid you strength. Robin, you've got a nice collection of images. And it seems to focus on the spa part of the resort, and that's fine. Might an image that gives us a context, perhaps for the exterior, be useful? Anyway, I like the subtlety of it. I like these sort of faint circular motifs that run throughout it, and you managed to fit type in the circles, really well. All I can say is that you don't have to center everything. You could have it follow the contour, perhaps, of the mask, which brings me to your 3 masks. Very well done. That shows a lot of skill. You might, there's even so you can see some little artifacts here that might need to be taken care of in the mask, and learn to make soft edge masks, which are particularly useful in masking hair. Know that you can feather an edge of a mask, using the brush tool or the airbrush tool, for that matter. Sometimes better at giving a soft edge. And I would say that you've got more than enough ingredients. You've been very thorough. So if anything, I would reduce the number of ingredients. And if there's any way that you can create a general movement throughout the page, maybe by highlighting some of these circles, to give the same sinewy movement of the back, maybe from diagonally across the page, subtly, of course. That would give it some structure. And and I would say that learn to align type other than centering it. Centering is usually reserved for things like invitations, sometimes poetry, but it's acknowledged to be a formal way of organizing type. And a spa. This is an elegant presentation, but I think for the sans serif typeface Arial, probably better to have it flush left, rag right, or flush right, rag left, or maybe even staggered throughout the page. But that's just a commentary on typography. Of course, you may have different visual reactions, and you need to honor those. So I also would say that your use of Arial is great, but again, you've got a lot of copy, and you have a surplus of really good imagery and content. Your choice is, my suggestion to you is to pare it down somewhat. All right, I'm going to take a look at it in Illustrator to see what your file structure is like. Robin, this is exemplary. I see that you've got your screenshots collected in a PDF, just as recommended. Here's your Illustrator file for the ad, and let's see, that's a PDF of it too. So I'm hoping that when I open this, I'm not going to get prompts for imagery, and unfortunately, I am. So let me show you the error message I'm getting. You have linked to images rather than embedded them. It's a small thing. I'll show you how to do it quickly. I'm just going to click through these. You want to avoid linking. You want to make your files, at least in this class, there is occasion to use high-res linked files, but for this class, I want you to know how to embed images. Okay, so here's your file. You've got everything on its own layer, except your images are missing. As I roll a cursor around, notice that the image boxes have an X in them. That means that they are linked. Okay, to place, I'm in Illustrator, I go to File, Place. Now notice, I want you, part of the problem is the interface, the Adobe interface. I'm just going to select something arbitrary here, and make sure down here that link is not selected, okay? By default it is, and only until you change that will it be embed your files. Small little obscure place on the Adobe interface. I don't know why it's that way. It was more obvious earlier. So you know you have embedded an image when you can see it, in your Illustrator file. Okay, and there's no X through the box. All right, so that's there's enough there, and other than embedding images, really nice job. Consider other arrangements.